Windows Firewall has blocked some features of Streamlabs desktop on all public and private networks. Do you want to allow? Yes, allow.
And now, coming to the track,
Hello,
Miss
you.
Lady Dabs.
Oh, I got that echo. Um, but anyway, welcome. I'm so excited. This is a new segment that I have decided to run on Thursdays, only because of the fact that I don't know anything about the Breeders' Cup, and I wanted to expand my knowledge, but I also felt like it would be nice if I shared the knowledge as I go along. Trust me, this is not going to be a long session that I'm going to be talking about, and I want to keep it as short as possible. Um, Hang on one second. I want to do this so I don't go over time. So I want to keep it to about 45 minutes to about an hour if I can. But anyway, I wanted to learn more about the Breeders' Cup. I had been hearing about it for years and I did not know anything about it. So let's get started. I hope you like the journey that I am going to go down. Oh, and to let you know that this is going to be a weekly Thursday segment, and I'm going to be doing it every Thursday all the way up until the actual Breeders' Cup, which I found out it's a 2-day event. The first day is October 30th, and I'll put that up. I didn't put that in this slide, but I'll put it up later as we go along. October 30th, and the big main races are October 31st. So let's get started. So the first question that I had was, what is the Breeders' Cup? Because I did not know anything about it. Like I said, I'm learning as I go along. So here we go. So the Breeders' Cup was created in 1984, and the gentleman by the name of, I have his information here. Um, they didn't put his name in here. Um, let's see if I can do this real quick. Sorry, I had everything open except for I have it open. It's just that I need to go to where I saw this information because the guy that actually started it, I don't know why they don't mention his name. But John Gaines. Came up with the concept of uh, presenting the Breeders' Cup um in, like I said, in 1984, and by the time it actually launched he was no longer on the board, but he lived long enough to at least see that these races did come to fruition. um from what information I have gathered, the Breeders' Cup brings together the best horses in the world, all of your elite horses that have um, won big stake races. It is like the Super Bowl of horse racing, for lack of a better explanation, which again, I had no idea. Um, the first Breeder Cup race took place at Hollywood Park, and Hollywood Park no longer exists. It's been torn down many years now. But Hollywood Park used to be the go-to racetrack before. I mean, well, they had Santa Anita, but a lot of people enjoyed Hollywood Park a lot better than they enjoyed Santa Anita racetrack because it was just a different atmosphere, and I feel that it catered more to your locals, as opposed to Santa Anita, because it was more, I think it was located in Inglewood, if I'm not mistaken. But they tore it down. Oh, I want to say, whew, honestly, it's been almost 20 years since they tore it down. But anyway, that's where the Breeders' Cup started. And over the years since 1984, it has evolved into this spectacular 2-day event for horse racing that um, is the upper echelon of any other event. It's even bigger than the Triple Crown, the Kentucky Derby. And actually, a lot of people are looking more at the Breeders' Cup because we don't have those Triple Crowned expectations anymore. And hopefully they'll get that taken care of. But anyway, today's Breeders' Cups features, the top horses, like I said, the elite jockeys from around the world. We're not just talking about the US now, we're talking from around the world. And the prizes, the way they have um created the purses is all of the breeders around the world have to contribute a certain percentage into the pots in order to get these prizes in place. Right now, the Breeders' Cup total prize package, I think it's like $34 million. I mean, it's massive. It's huge. And I mentioned the fact that it's an international competition and they rotate between different tracks across the US. I don't think it's ever gone outside of the US, even though the international horses and breeders and trainers and jockeys all come to the US. I don't think it's never been outside of the US. So, just a little bit of history. Um, and why does it matter? Well, it matters because that horse gets to be labeled the best horse in the world. And I mean in the world. Winning the Breeders' Cups gives you, makes the horse legendary. Um, it also increases the breeding value of the horse. I mean, I don't know how it works, whether or not the horses from the Triple Crown actually makes it to the breeders. I don't know. I haven't learned that information yet, but trust me, as soon as I do, I will share it. It secures a year in championships. You get all of the accolades and whatnot. And of course, for the fans, for its fans, it creates memorable moments. Now, I have a confession to make. I don't think I've ever seen a single Breeders' Cup race ever. I've heard of them. I know they existed, but like I said, I had no idea how massive this event is. So this is the first year that I'm going to sit down and I'm going to watch both days and understand what the excitement and the enthusiasm and all of that is. Um, oops. For fans, it's special because the best races of the best. So again, I can see how you could get all of those horses in one um, arena and just have them perform at their best. I mean, they are competing with other breeds, other horses that are in the same level or at the same playing field as all the other horses. So it's going to be, I know it's hard to decide which horse you want to bet on because of the fact that they're all massive and great horses. So, um, again, it also, I've already said that it's the Super Bowl of the racing, or they say the World Series, or the Olympics of racing, I guess. I mean, it's just like I said, I did not know this was such a huge deal. So, I feel like I'm the odd man out in the racing world right now because I didn't know. I had no idea. So, the next thing is the Breeders' Cup is often called the World Champion of Races. And that's because horses come from, and I'm going to list them, although I'm sure you can see most of it, the United States, Europe, Japan, South America, Canada, Dubai. I know Brazil is in there because I saw some horses from Brazil. Um, and that means fans get to dream of the matchup and whatnot. And one of the rarest times, again, this is one of the rarest times where you have your turf stars, your dirt stars, your sprinters, your distant horses, all competing in the same race. Your international champions. I mean, it just made me more excited because I really want to be able to spend time and really understand so that by the time October 30th, I'd have a little bit of more knowledge. Well, I will have more knowledge, but I have a better appreciation of the Breeders' Cup. So I'm going to explain a little bit more about the dirt and the turf races. The dirt races are races that are run on clay and sand or silt. And I'll have to look that up because I'm not familiar with that term, unless they mean all purpose type surface, which actually makes sense. Dirt races are often uh, faster earlier, more physical and speed focus. That's when they talk about the buyer speed. You'll see them come up with the buyer speed. The dirt racing is an important factor. Many American horses are specialized in dirt racing, and I know that for a fact because most of your international horses are turf races. They like running on the grass. I'm not sure of very many races outside of the US that are dirt races. Um, and the major dirt races include Club, the Breeders' Cup Classic. That is the race. The distaff and the sprint. And don't worry, I will come back and explain what all of these races are. Right now, I'm just kind of giving an overview so that you can kind of just an introduction. So as we go along, you'll be able to kind of understand where we are, and you'll be able to come back to this video if I've said something that I don't mention in other videos going forward. It'll all be in here, most of it anyway. Turf race, that means racing on the grass. Turf races are often more strategic, which I didn't know. They are smoother and stamina focused, which I guess it kind of does make sense because you got to make sure that the horse doesn't slide in the grass. I'm guessing. I don't know. European horses are especially known for turf racing. That's their specialty. And some of the major races include the turf, the mile, and the filly and mare turf races. These are all races. Um, Again, like I said, we'll get into that a little bit more, but Um, so here is the 2-day format. Friday the 30th, October 30th and Saturday, October 31st. I probably should have put the date up, but I didn't. I got as much information in as I could. Friday usually focuses on the younger horses. And again, I will explain what all of that means because I don't understand what it means either right now. Future stars, I get that, those horses that have potential and might go on to the um Kentucky Derby. I'm not sure if they're going to be old enough. I don't know if these are 2-year olds. I don't know. Like I said, as we move along, I will find out. And they are developing their talents. Common Friday races include the juvenile races, the filly races, and emerging star races. Saturday is the big event. These are your elite. They include the sprint race, the mile race, the turf race, the distaff race, and finally the Breeders' Cup Classic. I don't know why I'm getting tongue tied when I say that. The Classic is often considered the biggest race of the weekend. That's where many horses of the year champions are crowned. So there we go. Now, I did find out because I saw this come up and I thought it was just a name, Win and You're In. But what I learned is there are certain races that happen throughout the year that um, horses, when they win, are automatically entered into whichever race that they are competing for, and their entry fees are already paid for. And it says some of the international horses are their expenses are covered. Now in this, I have um, a whole nother presentation for this specific section alone, only because I didn't realize how far behind the 8 ball that I am. I didn't realize that there were so many races that have already taken place. So I'm going to kind of go over those races real quick and see um, if I can pull those up. Um, and we can talk about that really quick. I had it open and then I closed it and then I don't know. Pardon me. Okay. Oh, I already went over there. Okay, so the first race actually started in December. So the first race in December was the Grand Premio International Carlos Pellegrini Stakes. It took place in Brazil on December 13th, and Obatai was the winner, and it was a turf race, of course, and it was at San Isidro race course, and this horse won the race. Um, I don't know much about it, and I couldn't really find a lot because again, this is an international race, so I will find out more information as we get close, as we go along in the segment. But right now, I'm just covering them very high level, very briefly. Um, but we will come back to it. And all of these horses are the Win It and in it status, meaning these races they've won, they've secured a place in the Breeders' Cup series, so they don't have to do any other kind of competition in order to place in these upcoming coming races. That was the only one in December. Now, moving on to January, we had the Primero, Primeiro Pedro. Um, I don't know how to say that name. Um, I'll get it down by the time we get back to it. This race was January 6th, and it was the Her Kitten that won the race. Now, they have it up here because when I got this information, you can actually look at the race and see them winning the race, but because this is just a presentation, I can't do that. And I'm not sure if I won't get dinged for not doing it. So that's where we are. Uh, Again, it was in Brazil. Um, this was a dirt race, so this horse won on the dirt, and the Hippodromo. Uh, Again, national. Again, I don't know how to pronounce the racetrack, and I'm not going to butcher it. But anyway, it's the Hair Kitten is in the race. We had another one in, I don't even know what country this is, the Cartier Paddock Stakes, and it was Wish List. And let me see if I can find this country real quick because I did not do that. Um, oh, it's in Sudan. Okay, so this horse won in Sudan. And again, this was a filly and mare, and this was on the turf, and the track was Kenilworth. I can at least say that, but I still have no idea where it is. The next one was January 10th, Whirlpool Cape Flying Championship at King Dundee was the horse that won on January 10th. Like I said, again, this is a turf sprint race, again in Sudan. So that's where we are. Um, Another race, Lamarin's King's Plate. The Real Prince won again January 10th, and this is the FanDuel Mile. I'm not sure whether it's a dirt or turf race. I'm going to assume, well, no, I'm not going to assume anything. I will find out more information and find and let you know what the surface was for this race. The fifth race, Pegasus World Cup International, Skippy Longstocking. I know this horse. They raced January 24th. This is the longest classic. And this was at Gulfstream Park. So this was a US horse, but I know Skippy Longstocking. That horse has been around for a minute. In February, we had told you we had quite a few races that we missed. These have all run, and these horses um, have all won and have been guaranteed a spot. Um, the Rida Dirt Sprint Imagination. Kind of sort of remember this horse, but I'm not really sure. Um, Ran February 14th in the Cy Games Sprint, Cy Games Sprint race. Looks like that was on the dirt. Oh, you know what? I can go back here. The FanDuel. Oh, that was on a turf race. All I have to do is look at the picture. Go figure, right? Um, I don't think I've ever heard of this racetrack. It must not have been in the U.S. This must have been somewhere else. I'm not familiar with this track at all. King Abdul Laziz Race Course. I have to look that up and find out more. For Forever Young, the Saudi Cup. Know this horse. Qualified February 14th. The Longest Classic. Again, same racetrack. This is a Japanese horse. Now I have to go back and figure and wonder whether or not this is the location or if this is where the horse is from, not necessarily where they ran. Again, more information. The more I learn, the more I need to learn. So bear with me, please. The February Stakes in Costa Nova uh, won February 22nd. Again, the Longinus Classic, Tokyo Race Course. So they were in Japan for sure. And that was it for February. Now, March, we had the Dubai Golden Sheehan, um, Dark Saffron, won March 28th. The Side Games Sprint, the track, Maiden Race Course. Oh, see, now they tell me U.S. Arab Emirates. But this horse won. So this must be where the horse is from. And this is where it ran. But that's the first one I've seen that said region. So the next one is the Loggains Dubai Shima Classic. And this is Calendagon. And this is an Irish horse. It won March 28th. The Longines Tariff Maiden Course Race, again, United Arab. Uh, the Dubai World Cup, Magnitude. I kind of remember this horse too. March 28th, the Games Classic, Maiden Race Course, United Arab. I have to look this up because I want to say that this is the Dubai World Cup. At just this race is $20 million. I'm not really sure, but I will look that up in a minute. And then in April we had Apple Blossom Handicap with Claret Bore. Now I'm not familiar with that one at all. Won April 11th. Again, Leganis Distaff at Oaklawn Park. Um, then we had the Grand Premio Pamplona, Seva Calando won April 26th. Makers Philly and Mare Turf. I I'm not gonna name the track, and it was in Peru. Um, and then we had this month the Grand Premio Criadores Herd Immunity May 1st, Longest Distaff Argentina, and Victoria Mile Embroidery May 17th. That's the Makers Philly and Mare Turf. Tokyo, in the regions Japan, And that's it. That's a lot of races that I had no idea that we were going to kind of go through. But I do want to take a minute and I want to go back to the Dubai um, Cup. What was it called? World Cup, March 28th. Yeah, that's a $20 million race. Wow. Okay, so not only is this horse a $20 million win, but Jose Ortiz, who won the Kentucky Derby, was the rider on that horse, and the trainer was Steve Asmussen. Wow. I don't know when I don't know how I could have seen this race, but um yeah, $20 million. And I think the breakdown is first place gets 10% and second and third is like 5 and 5. I'm not really sure. I don't remember what the total breakdown is, but anyway, $20 million was the payout for that particular horse. So um I know I feel like a nerd, and I'm not really. I probably shouldn't feel that way, but I do. I feel like I feel like an absolute nerd, talking about these races. It's just um
And now,
it's just becoming more
coming
and
to the
more of a
track,
passion, and I feel good about
Miss
being
Lady
able to talk
Dabs.
about them because, like I said, when I was before I decided to do this, I wouldn't even look at the races because I didn't have anybody to talk to about it. So, I started off doing this for my mom because it kind of filled the void with her not being able to communicate with me anymore like she used to. I was talking to a friend earlier uh, today, and I was telling him that, I like doing this because I would talk to my mom every single day. And I mean, there was not a day that went by that I did not talk to her about horse racing for years. And I mean, for years. So when she got sick, I tried watching the races. The first few times that I tried, I went to grab the phone to pick up the phone and talk to her and realized I couldn't do it. So I stopped watching the races. I stopped watching the races for, oh, I want to say almost 2 years now. I would go to the Kentucky Derby, but that would be the only thing that I would do in her honor. But, now I can come back and really put some more energy into it just to kind of get a feel of the races again and get that excitement again and get back into a groove that I used to be into. But anyway, I don't want to dwell on that too much. So like I said, this is just I don't want to say educational because it's really not. I'm not trying to teach, I'm trying to learn, and I'm trying to just share the knowledge that I'm learning. And hopefully it makes sense in the end. So there are going to be 22 weekly sessions that I'm going to cover different topics. And the 23rd is going to be actually on a special day. Um, I'm doing this on Thursday, so it might be I want to do it right before the um the races on the 30th and 31st. So I'm not sure what day I'm actually going to do that. So I'm not going to say anything about that. But the other ones are going to be live, and they're going to be once a week, and they are going to run real quick. Like I said, I don't want to spend a lot of time just talking unless you want to do that, and that makes it something different, but I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking. And I hope that you have enjoyed what I have to put down. If not, I'm sure you will let me know. I might put a poll up in Discord, maybe, and also in YouTube, because I want to know, did you know anything about the Breeders' Cup? Were you familiar with anything regarding the Breeders' Cup? Is the Breeders' Cup, I mean, if as a beginner, you probably may know a little bit more or may not know a little bit more. So I might be asking the wrong question, but I'm curious to see if there's anybody out there that really, really, really knows um, about the Breeders' Cup or can want to share the information that they have and the knowledge that they have. I am absolutely open for anything you might have to share. So, um, anyway, I think that's it. And if you want to see more of this or you like this, please like and share. I really appreciate it. Um, it will help me determine whether or not there's a big interest out there for it. But in the meantime, I am actually going to end this now because I didn't have a real whole lot to say about the on the introductory. Like I said, I was just trying to kind of go through the introductory piece and just get a little bit of terminology introduced and why the Breeders' Cup and why it's important and when they created it and you know things that I didn't know happened. But anyway, enjoy the rest of your evening. I thank you for joining me. I thank you for spending time, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Um, Take care. Bye.